The opponent looking to force the final Protect Shield last second. Doc invests that Protect Shield. The opponent then pivots out into Talonflame, sacrificing it to the Pokegod's discharge. Near one shots, and we Volt Switch down. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have the pleasure of shoutcasting Doc Pep's expert run with an incredible double shadow, double electric backline. Defensively, electric's a pretty good type in. It's only got one weakness, which is ground. So to help cover that weakness, we're going to run a Tapu Fini lead. Without any further ado, let's get into the battle. And in game one, we lead Tapu Fini into the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death. What a great lead. The opponent save switches into Registeel, and we answer with Ampharos. I find it quite interesting that we had Ampharos rather than Galvantula, as Galvantula would resist all moves from Reggie. However, Ampharos does have objectively more bulk, and we have the potential to force shields, baiting Focus Blast. Doc does bait the Focus Blast, and we do indeed force that Protect Shield. Ampharos is in the red, but we're unlikely to get lock-on farm down, so Doc invests that Protect Shield. The opponent, of course, goes for the Zap Cannon, and we see no debuff. Let's go. Ampharos now going to start unleashing Thunder Punch after Thunder Punch. The first one lands, getting Registeel. The stupid Tin Can down below half health. Doc then farms up to the back-to-back Thunder Punch. The next one lands, leaving Reggie on a sliver of HP. This one will be securing the knockout, and just like that, we maintain alignment. Ampharos leaves incredibly low, allowing Talonflame only one free Incinerate. We send out Tapu Fini, and what a call it was sending out Ampharos into Registeel, as the opponent's final Pokemon is Cresselia. And Galvantula can not only hit for super effective with the lunges, but has the ability to continually lower Cresselia's attack. The opponent full send the Future Sight, but that just doesn't get the job done, despite Galvantula being incredibly glassy. After applying that debuff effect, we do survive. We're then able to fire off Lunge number 2, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Doc gonna save his final Protect Shield for the Fini, and I think that's a fantastic play, as the move we've really got to fear is a potential Brave Bird. The opponent has revealed they do have Grass Knot, but you can see after a 2-stage lowered attack, this Wet Noodle Pokemon just tickles. The opponent then pivot back out, sending out the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death, and let me tell you, this bird will not appreciate the drink. We land the Surf. The opponent only going to reach one move. Doc actually calls it. The opponent is running Fly. Oof, what a call. We then get the full Water Gun farm down lead with the Moonblast, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Doc showing huge cojones, as I think Brave Bird would have come very close to knocking us out. In the next battle, we see Tapu Fini into Greedent. As we are on an ABB team, I imagine Doc looks to chip this Greedent and make the pivot into Ampharos. The opponent fires off the Body Slam. This Squirrel, incredibly spammy, it only takes him 4 mud shots per Body Slam, which is absolutely ridiculous for such a bulky boy. Doc continuing to farm up, and he's full sending the Moonblast. So in neutral situations, Moonblast is the way to go, as it is more energy efficient. And I was going to say bulky Pokemon tend not to shield, but evidently what do I know, as Greedent does invest that Protect Shield. We tank the Body Slam, we're left incredibly low. The opponent so spammy at yet another Body Slam. Fucking hell, this Squirrel's so annoying. Doc invests that Protect Shield, looking to play out the ones. We send Moonblast number 2. Getting Greedent incredibly low. We attempt to snipe with Ampharos, but my god, this Squirrel makes yet another Body Slam. However, Trainer, that is a very interesting counter swap, sending out Mandibuzz into our Ampharos. We see the instant no shield deployed, and oof, Dark Pulse, that did a lot of damage. So 4 turn into 3 turn. Ideally, you do want to throw 2 Volt Switches, but we're getting incredibly low. So it looks like Doc's just opting to get this Mandibuzz out of here. Throwing not the best timing, but we do secure the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is Jellicent, and oof, we get farmed down. I think Doc is going to need to make a catch to win this battle. However, that could be quite problematic using a 4-turn move. As I say that, unless the opponent throws on alignment. Trainer! The opponent threw 4 hexes and then the move, perfectly on alignment. So what they should have actually done is throw a suboptimal timing, or just pause a turn. They could have thrown 2 hexes, which would have been 6 turns. So we would have been halfway through our second Volt Switch, which is a 4-turn move, would have been unable to catch. Or they could have just paused the turn if they wanted to be super careful. Wait for the Volt Switch animation to start and then throw the charge move. But Doc says thank you very much and eat the discharge to the face. In the next battle, we see another Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death. The opponent save switches into a Dragon Breath Giratina. Fun fact, Fairy, double resist Dragon. So this is also a dreadful matchup. The opponent's probably hoping Doc switches out. However, Doc very happy to see Giratina here. as this is probably our best matchup, especially against the Dragon Breath variant, and we've got 2 electric types waiting to greet that flying pest of a bird Talonflame. The opponent correctly shielded up a Moonblast. However, trainer, I do not think you'll be flipping this matchup, Doc. Not baiting, going straight Moonblast all the way. The opponent now down both Protect Shields. If I was Doc, I'd just shield up this next charge move. They can bait, they can send the Shadow Sneak. Regardless, we don't care. We're going to outpace the Moonblast number 3, and it's going to be time to get that Giratina out of here. I doubt they return with Talonflame, as the water guns will really chunk. The opponent sends out Virizion and we respond with Galvantula. The opponent goes straight for a Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword. The opponent fires off the Leaf Blade, not even building up to a potential Stone Edge. The opponent looking to force our final Protect Shield. Doc obliges, putting up that Protect Shield. The opponent then pivots out into Talonflame, sacrificing it to their Pokegods. The discharge lands near one shot, and we get the Volt Switch farm down. Leave with the lunge that is going to hit Virizion's Fighting Grass typing for neutral and permanently debuff them. I saw a lot of comments in yesterday's upload about fast move timing, so this Virizion is actually dry, so they're going to be 9 turns away from that Leaf Blade that they did take us out with. So Doc could have actually thrown 2 Volt Switches for optimal fast move timing, throw the lunge 1 turn before the next Leaf Blade, would have been at the back-to-back, then 1 CMP, and wouldn't have even had to show him the Ampharos. But regardless, Doc picks up a big dub. Moving on to the next one. Tapu Fini out here winning all the leads, and speaking of Tapu Fini, that is what the opponent say switches, and we respond with Ampharos. Doc goes straight for the Thunder Punch, forcing an early shield advantage. Doc doesn't particularly need switch, but is going to shield once. Let's see if the opponent is going to invest both Protect Shield. Doc over farms, fires off Thunder Punch, number 2. Tapu Fini desperately looking to flip switch, however Doc really doesn't need switch. I believe we will survive this surf, however can we survive the water guns and make the next Thunder Punch? Yes we can. Doc trusting his IVs, we make the Thunder Punch on minimal HP. We force both Protect Shields and keep alignment. The opponent sends out Cresselia, get a 1 Psycho Cut farm down, but hi Cress, meet our pesky spider. The opponent says, it's a no thank you from me, and concede the match. Moving on to the next battle. A very tough lead. Someone else repping Shadow Ampharos. I think Shadow Ampharos is so underrated in this meta. Doc counts to 3, then looks to catch the Thunder Punch onto Galvantula. Ampharos very quick to charge moves. They're only 2 Volt Switches away from the Brutal Swing, which they opt to stay in, throw, force an early Protect Shield. Doc obliges, putting up that Protect Shield, and the opponent then sends out Virizion. Doc threw 2 Volt Switches for 8 turns into Virizion's 3 double kick, so perfect fast move timing. This is only a Leaf Blade or Sacred Sword. The squishy spider just about survives. We're hanging on deep into the red. Doc returns fire with lunge. Number 2, the opponent doesn't shield. Can we get the Volt Switch farm down? No, we can't. I'm unsure if that's new mechanic. The opponent is on a fraction of HP. Doc is going to have to pull off some wizardry here, as we're down a Protect Shield and we didn't manage to flip switch. Doc sends out Ampharos. We get a 1 Volt Switch running start. The opponent sends out their own Ampharos. We then this time look to catch a Brutal Swing. The opponent hold their energy. We fire off the Surf, force a Protect Shield. The opponent then pivot, banking all of that energy, sending out Glisopod. No one move will take us out, so Wincon will be of our Ampharos. The opponent fires off the Liquidation, which is a bit of a strange play, as of course it is more expensive than Aerial Ace, and if we got the defense drop, we would have given them even less farm, but regardless, the opponent still going to get a huge Shadow Claw farm down, but Doc comes in, sneaks the Volt Switch, and we're now 1 Volt Switch ahead of the opposing Ampharos, so we can just fire off back to back. The opponent is now at the double, but this Brutal Swing will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. With hit charge move priority events, we're going to shield up the next Brutal Swing, return fire with our next one, and that is going to be all she wrote. Doc pulling off a very nice win despite hard losing lead. Very well played. Heading into the next battle, we lead Tapu Fini into Guzzlord. Fantastic. The opponent say switches into Ampharos and we respond with Galvantula. Maintaining alignment is going to be absolutely paramount, as Ampharos is completely walled by Guzzlord if we lose switch. So Doc opts to shield the first move, which is definitely the correct play, as it would do the most damage, as we are just going to look to debuff the shit out of this opponent. Doc's actually happy to invest both protection. I don't think we can Volt Switch farm down, so we're going to need to throw the lunge on the CMP tie. Even if the opponent shield this, I don't think a double debuff Brutal Swing will take us out. The opponent choose to invest Protect Shield, hoping Galvantula is squishy, but Galvantula isn't squishy enough. We get the Volt Switch farm down leave with the lunge. The opponent sends back out Guzzlord, and this is going to land for heavy super effective damage to actually force the opponent's final shield. A very questionable shield is, of course, we have got a fairy type. The opponent build up some energy, pivot into Squidward, and Squidward is going to be met by our Shadow Ampharos. We fire off the Thunder Punch lands for heavy damage. The opponent didn't throw one further poison jab. You can see that one poison jab might have made the difference. I think we survived regardless, but fast move timing is paramount. I'm going to keep preaching it. Ampharos certainly isn't in one poison jab range, but regardless of that, if you want to get better at the game, just get yourself into good habits. These battles are played around 2700 ELO. The global leaderboard is currently still at around 2850, so this is why I say fast move timing is the difference between legend and probably ace or vet rank players, as people that are quite high up still are throwing at pretty poor timers. If your goal is to reach legend for the first time, just get your head around that fast move timing, I promise you'll make it. Other important things, if you're looking to rank up, of course, is counting quick moves. One of my favourite things to do. I say favourite things, I think I've just got OCD of it. Even when I watch Discord streams, I can't help but count. However, the opponent's fast move timing in the last battle has sent me off onto a mad tangent, so let's get back into the commentary. We see Tapu Fini into Sonic the Hedgehog. Not a particularly good matchup for Tapu Fini due to the fact that Sandslash outpaces us. Doc invested a Protect Shield on the drill run, fires off the next surf. If they survive on 1 HP, that's rough. We can survive one further drill run. We're going left deep into the red. Doc pivots into Ampharos, gets a 1 Volt Switch running start. The opponent thinking about what to send out, and they send out Poliwrath. Is this my team I posted yesterday? It's got to be Charizard in the back, as Poliwrath is by no means a good response. The opponent actually choosing to invest Protect Shields as well. It looks like Doc's going to save his final Protect Shield. For Galvantula, the opponent throws the Icy Wind rather than the Scald. Icy Wind doesn't get the job done. Poliwrath left now on a fraction of HP. We can just send out Galvantula, get a 1 Volt Switch, run and start. Come on, show me Charizard. It's not Charizard, but of course it is something weak to Electric. Galvantula fancies the work of Squidward. We full send the Discharge, which I think is definitely the correct play, as the opponent call a lunge bait. Could be our downfall. The opponent bait us with an acid spray, but no bait. We'll be saving this opponent's fate. Hi Squidward, bye Squidward, GG's, and thanks for playing. So if I was the opponent there, and I definitely lose the 1 shield, if we go straight Discharge, I definitely would have no shielded, hoping the opponent threw a lunge bait. We all know spiders love to bait. In the next battle, we see Dragonite in the lead. Great for us. The opponent save switches into Tentacruel, and we respond with Ampharos. Due to this season's buff to Scald, Tentacruel is now a real menace, but Doc has 2 very hard checks for it. The opponent shields up the Thunder Punch. We shield up the Scald. Doc then going to return fire with Thunder Punch number 2. The opponent looking to make a play at switch, but Doc says that is just not going to happen. We shield up the next Scald. Doc can now overfarm. We might even Volt Switch down. That is probably a little greedy as we're rapidly running out of HP. Doc fires off the Thunder Punch, securing the knockout. Back out comes Dragonite, and Ampharos still not done. Able to reach a departing Thunder Punch for the road, getting Dragonite below half health. The opponent tanked the charge move, then pivot out into the big tin can, looking to get ahead in energy. But Doc shows cat-like reflexes, pivoting straight out into his Galvantula, not giving Reggie too much of a head start. The opponent fires off a Zap Cannon, fishing for the debuff. The RNG gods say, not today, trainer, and the opponent concedes the match. Moving on to the next one. Shadow Alolan Sandslash. In my opinion, this thing is a very, very strong pick in the current meta. If, of course, you can avoid the counter users like Poliwrath and the Incinerate users like Talonflame and Skeledirge. We see Doc invest an early Protect Shield on the drill run and return fire with the Surf. I've played this matchup out so many times as Sandslash, so if Doc looks for the full Water Gun farm down, Sandslash will make one last second drill run, so Doc does need to throw. He overfarms as much as he physically can, throws the Surf just before the departing drill run, securing the knockout. We're now going to see the instant pivot into Ampharos. The opponent sends out Tentacruel and they opt to stay in. This could be the exact same team with Poliwrath. If it is, the opponent's going to be so sad when they see Electric type number 2. The opponent throws the Scald. Ampharos withstands the damage, is able to reach Thunder Punch number 2. Come on, trainer, give us that final Protect Shield. Unfortunately, the opponent recognises they can survive the Thunder Punch, they keep their final Protect Shield and commit to the Poison Jab farm down. We send out Galvantula, the opponent's final Pokemon is Talonflame. We go straight Discharge, not leaving anything to charge. Discharge forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We pivot back out into Tapu Fini, go for the classic wham, bam, combo play, land the surf, and we manage to take that game. Heading into the final battle of the video, we see Tapu Fini into Shadow Dragonite. Let's go. The opponent say switches into Jellicent, and we respond with Galvantula. The opponent looking to go straight for the surf, but we're still going to shield regardless. So it should be 2 Volt switches and the Discharge. Beautiful fast move timing from Doc, only giving away 1 free turn. To my surprise, the opponent actually chooses to invest a Protect Shield on the Discharge. Doc doesn't shield up the next surf, so perhaps the opponent's looking to make a play at switch, but we withstand the damage. Return fire with the next Discharge. The opponent gives up on switch, and we maintain alignment. Back out comes Dragonite. Dragonite gets the farm down. We send out Tapu Fini. The opponent's final Pokemon is the silly electric fish, and that is going to be all Shiro, and Doc pulls off a beautiful 5-0 to hit expert rank in Go Battle League Season 17. Huge congratulations to Doc, as that was a very, very impressive showcase. I really hope you reach Legend soon, buddy. It was a pleasure to shoutcast a very unique team that I haven't seen anyone else run and see you perform so well with it. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.